Shalom Yerushalayim Zeu Shari Rashechem
Shalom, everyone, and nearly Shabbat Shalom. Today is Friday. It is the 26th day of the Hebrew month of Cheshvan. Today is November the 10th, and we are about to read the fifth portion in Genesis this coming Shabbat. The portion that begins in chapter 23 and talks about Sarah's life. And these were the life of Sarah, 100 years and 20 years and 7 years, 120 years. That was Sarah's life, the days of the life of Sarah. Sarah's life is a role model, not for no reason. We have the number so much in specific, 100 years and 20 years and 7 years. Each element, each digit in her number of years has relevance. Her life is a role model. Is that a role model of someone who goes with a mission of a calling? I mean, God didn't speak to Sarah. Not directly in any case. Sarah was part of everything that Abraham said, that God said to Abraham, right? I mean, when God promised Abraham that he will have a son, eventually he said it will come from Sarah. So Sarah was part of all the promises. Yet God didn't speak to Sarah directly. But when we look at Sarah's life, we see that she has, maybe we can say with no problem, but she's definitely making a decision to stand by Abraham, no matter what the cost is. When Abraham and Sarah when they come to the land of Canaan, and there is famine in the land, they find that there is famine in the land, they go to Egypt. So first of all, Sarah goes with Abraham, even though God said to Abraham, go to the land that I will show you. He didn't say anything about Sarah. Sarah joined him. Sarah believed in him. She believed in the calling, and she was willing to give herself away for this purpose. And then they come to the land, and there is famine in the land. They need to go to Egypt. They go to Egypt, and Pharaoh, being the Pharaoh that he was, he takes Sarah for himself. And Abraham is saying to Sarah, before they get to the palace, he's saying to her, please say that you are my sister. Don't say that you are my wife, because if they know that you are my wife, they will kill me and they will take you, because they cannot take a wife of a living man. Not a problem. Let's kill the guy and take the woman. I know that they are corrupted in such way, so please say that you are my sister. And Sarah is pulling along with it. But as far as Sarah is concerned, when she says, I am his sister, she knows that she will be now taken to the king. And she doesn't know the rest of the end of the story. She hasn't read the end of Torah, and she doesn't know that she will be back with Abraham. As far as she's concerned, she's going to be taken to the palace, and that's it. She's not going to see Abraham from that point. And knowing that there is a promise for Abraham to have a child, as far as she's concerned, she's going to now be with the king of Egypt from now on. So probably Abraham is going to have his son, his future son. I mean, the son that will continue the legacy and this walk with God. He will have that son with another woman, not with me, because I'm going to be living with Pharaoh, because I'm agreeing to say that I'm his sister. But we see Sarah is doing that because Sarah cares about the blessing of God to be fulfilled, even if it means that she needs to pay the price. Even if it means that Abraham will have that son with another woman, she's willing to go along with it. And she's not complaining about it. And Sarah is doing that. And when the ministers of Pharaoh, they come and they take Sarah to the palace 2 portions ago, Abraham, in return, Abraham gets camels and property and money, and so she looks back and she sees him with all that property becoming richer than he was, and she's losing her life to go and live with this Pharaoh in sin, and she's willing to go along with it. She doesn't say anything. And God comes to the rescue, of course, and he punishes Pharaoh for doing that. And Sarah, in the end, goes back to Abraham. But we see that without her knowing that this is what God was going to do, she is still willing to do it, because the calling, even though it's not her own calling, it's her husband's. it's his calling, but she has faith in God. She has faith in the calling that he gave to Abraham, and she understands that she is not the biggest picture here. She's not the main thing in the whole thing. She's the greater cause that's greater than she is, and she's willing to surrender, to devote her life for that cause. Not even though God didn't speak to her, he spoke to Abraham, and that shows that Sarah had such a high level of devotion and willing to surrender herself, even though she wasn't the one to hear God's voice. And I think that when we see that, and we in the days that we're now living in, the amount of submission and surrender, the sacrifice that we need to make, I think we can take a lot of inspiration and a lot of motivation from Sarah's behavior, and to see how devoted she was, and then Sarah is the only one. She's the only woman in the entire Torah that we actually get her age when she died. She died 100 years and 20 years and 7 years. That's life, which is worthy to be calllife of devotion. Shabbat Shalom.